I am the bone of my Digimon. Digizoid is my body, and Akuni is my blood. I have created over 1,000 stacks, unknown to Death X, nor known to Jess, have withstood pain to create many bosses. Yet those security will never be checked. So as I pray, Unlimited Ragnaloard. Welcome to Saucer Lost, where we look at the most recent support Bandai puts on our plate and see if we throw it on the pot or put it in the trash where it belongs. 2 years ago, we got two brand new starter decks, ST12 Jessmon and ST13 Ragnaloardmon. When both of these came out, Jessmon not only had sprinkles of support in previous sets, but the set to go alongside these decks was BT10, which featured a brand new Sistermon, 2 X antibody forms for Megas, and even a secret rare made solely for the deck. And then there was Ragnaloard, who got 2 of its lines in 1.5, a new egg in BT4, and its follow-up support in BT10 was a brand new uncommon. So which of these two decks would you pick? The one clearly getting support and can see decent play in the meta, or the deck even Bandai couldn't put much care into? If you pick Jess, clearly you are not me, and obviously nowhere near cool. Ragna at launch was clearly mediocre at best and didn't stand the test of time, even with the Zubamon promo that took us 2 years to finally get. Unless you're an absolute Chad like this guy, no one could make Ragna work and was a pet deck at best, until out of nowhere, Bandai announced EX6 to give us Ragnaloard support, and whoo boy, is, as the kids say, kinda saucy. So let's dive into the brand new Ragnaloard support. Now this set not only gave us 1 egg, but 2! Talk about a delicious breakfast platter. Now how about we dig right into this? Sakudomon is a red level 2 Digi-Egg. It has the inheritable your turn once per turn. When an effect places a card with Legendary trait in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, gain 1 memory. This card is simple and clean. You want a deck that tucks cards underneath and this X gives you memory to do it again? How much better can it get? Sauce. This is clearly the archetype's main egg. How can it be beat? Well, let's look at the other egg and you'll see what I mean. Kekenmon is a level 2 black Digi-Egg with the inheritable start of your main phase. By returning 1 card with the Legendary trait from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the hand, gain 1 memory. Okay, so before you make the same mistake I did when I first read this card, you may be thinking, what makes this effect better? I'm basically minusing to gain memory? Ignoring the new cards for a second, say you evo into breeding one of the old level 3s from 1.5, and then you go into level 4, well there goes a perfectly good on play. Now next turn, push the card out, and use the Egg's effect to add that card back from your sources. Boom, you got a card you can reuse, and 1 extra memory to boot. And believe me, once you see the new cards, you'll see why this egg is far superior. Sauce. The true archetype egg. Rip Sakudomon. I barely knew you. Like literally, I barely knew you and you're already gone. Now it's time to get into the level 3s, and normally for each of the lines we're only going to see 1 red and 1 black, but this one we're actually going to get a 3rd red and black. I wonder what this Digimon could be. Let's take a look. Well, looks like I have a lot of cards with a lot of card text, but kind of like the Pulsemon video, all of these card texts are very similar, so we're just going to summarize them really quickly. Boiling down the effects, it's all handmade by paying a certain cost, and by placing this card underneath one of your Legends Arms trait, or a Digimon of the similar level, you initiate an effect, and a lot of the cards have, when an effect adds the Digimon to this Digivolution cards, gain an effect. So let's just call these effects Tuck. We'll say the cost amount and what it does, and then we'll say Tucky, and that just means what effect comes up when there's a card tucked underneath. Okay? Cool, let's get into it. Zubamon is a red level 3 Digimon. It can Digivolve onto Sakudo/Kakinmon for a cost of 0. Tuck effect, 1. That Digimon gets 4 KDP for the turn. Tucky effect, once per turn, draw 1. The inheritable, this Digimon gets 2 KDP. So now we see the new gimmick of the deck just looking at this card alone. Getting rid of the gacha style on plays and tucking from field into just straight tucking from hand to guarantee effect. Honestly, I prefer this new style, but RIP to those who bought the Ragnarstar decks, am I right? I wasted $30. Regardless though, solid DP boost, effect both within its inheritable, and draw is pretty good too. Personally wish it wasn't once per turn, but beggars can't be choosers. Sauce. Pretty solid for what it does, and I would say run 4, but you'll see in the end. Our next level 3 is Ludomon. It's a black level 3 Digimon with 1k DP. It can Digivolve onto Kakemon / Sakudamon for a cost 0. Tuck 1, that Digimon gets 2k DP until the end of your opponent's turn. Tuck E, once per turn, draw 1. With the inheritable opponent's turn, this Digimon gets 2k DP. Basically a copy of Zuba, instead giving a smaller DP boost that lasts until the end of your opponent's turn, and the inheritable only working on your opponent's turn instead. Keep note as the sword line is more focused on battle and deletion, while the shield side is focused more on protection. So pretty cool touch. Sauce. But similar to what I said about Zuba, I'll go into it in the end, I swear. Our final level 3 is Spotamon, a black-red level 3 Digimon with 1k DP. It can Digivolve onto Sakuda / Kakemon for a cost of 0. Tuck 1, draw 1. On play, by trashing 1 card with Legend's Arm straight in your hand, draw 2. With the inheritable, when attacking once per turn, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. Wait, a Spotamon that I don't need to evo for 1? I've waited so long for this day. Compared to the other level 3s, this one is all about card draw. Draw! Digimon Kado! Draw! Digimon Kado! Draw! Digimon Kado! This is super useful in getting your cards back. Combo with Kakemon to reuse the effect, and Inheritable is a nice bonus to get rid of floodgates. Sauce. Without a doubt, run 4. Extremely good to help you get your pieces. Now it's time to start with the level 4s, and we're eager to get into Zuba Eagermon. It's a level 4 red Digimon with 4k DP. It can Digivolve onto a level 3 with Legend's Arm straight for cost 2. Tuck 1, Digimon gets 4k DP for the turn. Tuck E, gains Raid and Piercing for the turn. With the inheritable your turn, this Digimon gets plus 2k DP. Basically like Zubamon, but instead of card draw, you get Raid and Piercing on a level 4. Now you may wonder, what would I do with a level 4 with Raid and Piercing? Its DP will be 4k, maybe 6k if I have a Zubamon underneath? Well, don't you worry, my good fellow. Right now, for the low cost of just 1 memory, you can turn your Zuba Eagermon into an absolute unit by tucking a Zubamon, or even another copy of itself, to make yourself big enough to raid into Impaledramon. If you got 1 more memory and another Zuba, you can also tuck that, and boom, you're now a level 4 with 16k DP. Wargreymon wishes it could reach those numbers that quickly. Sauce. Whether it's top or bottom, it's insane to run any less than 4. Our second level 4 we're looking at is Tia Ludamon. It's a level 4 black Digimon with 4k DP. You can Digivolve onto a level 3 with Legend Arm straight for a cost of 2. Tuck 1, that Digimon gets plus 2k DP until the end of your opponent's turn. Tuck E, this Digimon gains block and reboot until the end of your opponent's turn. It has the inheritable opponent's turn. This Digimon gets plus 2k DP. Same like before, this is a mirror of the red version, but taking a more defensive side. Instead of focusing on running down your opponent's Digimon, you're building a giant tower that your opponent will need to run over to get to your security. And if it's turn 2, odds are your opponent's not getting over it that easily. A good defense still makes a perfect offense. Sauce. Like Zuba Eager, you want to max that on these. Now to start with our level 5s, we're going to hit with Duramon. It's a level 5 red Digimon with 7k DP. It can Digivolve onto a level 4 with Legend's Arm trade for a cost of 3. Tuck 2, that Digimon gains Security Tech plus 1 for the turn. Tuck E, this Digimon gains Raid and Piercing for the turn. It has the inheritable your turn once per turn. When this Digimon's attack target is switched, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So now we're seeing the effect be a little more diverse, and Duramon is not a card to sleep on. Tucking it under something gives you an extra check with a sick inheritable, and if it's the Tuck E, it's similar to Zuba Eager. Just needs to be buffed to the extreme to make it a big beater. Also, a fun little side story, I was testing this against someone playing Big Shack, and even with all the security minus being thrown at me, just gotta use one of these and we're back in business. Sauce. I love extra checks, and this guy is playing chess. Now for our counterpart level 5, we have Raichi Ludomon. It's a level 5 black Digimon with 7k DP. It can Digivolve onto a level 4 with Legend's Arm trade for a cost of 3. Tuck 2, one of your opponent's Digimon gains start of main phase this Digimon attacks. Tuck E, it gains blocker and reboot. It has the inheritable all turns once per turn. What this Digimon would be deleted by other than one of your effects. By trashing one card with Legend's Arm trade from the Digivolution cards, prevent that deletion. Now with the other Ludo line cards, I kept my explanation short since they are a near mirror of their Zuba counterparts, but this card is not only unique among the deck, it's honestly one of the best cards in the whole deck. The Tuck effect allows you to goad an enemy's creature into attacking. While you have your big tower, you can just smack it down, or you can even force it into a certain blast evo. Wink wink. Also, the protection the inheritable gives your stack is super powerful. Since the deck is made to load your stack full of digicards, means you have tons of ammo to rip for protection, or heck, even if 2 of these are tucked underneath, your opponent will need to pray to just want to get rid of it. Sauce. This is one of your key cards. Try to grab it when you can. Now it's time to talk about the big boys, and we're gonna start with Durandamon. It's a level 6 red Digimon with 12k DP. It can Digivolve onto a level 5 with Legends Arm trait for a cost of 4. Tuck 3. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as that Digimon. It has Rare Piercing, and when Digivolving, one of your Digimon may attack. It has the inheritable Piercing. Your turn, while this Digimon is Ragnaloardmon, it doesn't activate security effects on cards it checks. BT14 War Greymon? Is that you? Psych! Durandamon is more than just some beat stick. Its Tuck effect is really powerful to get rid of anything for only 3 memory. Considering a lot of your Digimon should already be at high DP numbers on your turn, its inheritable is phenomenal. Not just ignoring object security, but all security effects. A plan doesn't get more delicate than this, and now you can swing with 0 fears at whatever you may hit. Sauce. This card is insane for the deck. How could the next level 6 even top this? Well, let's see what the other counterpart does. And now, for the final non-Ragnalord Digimon in the line, we have Ragnaloardmon. It's a level 6 black Digimon with 12k DP. It can Digivolve onto a level 5 with a Legends Arm trait for a cost of 4. Tuck 3. Digivolve 1 all of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP of that Digimon. It has Block or Reboot. When Digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your Digimon isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. It has the inheritable Blocker. Opponent's turn, while this Digimon is Ragnaloardmon, this Digimon can't leave the battle area other than by your effects or by deletion. While the Tuck effect isn't bad, just not as explosive as Durandamon, the Digivolve effect is an extremely powerful form of protection, basically stealing it from BT15 and 16 insects, minus the need for suspension. And most of all, the inheritable giving your Ragnalord protection to rival BT16 Magnamon X, though only during your opponent's turn. Sauce. Like the new Durandra, essential for the deck and completes your Ragna to be as strong as it is. And now we have the big boss, the Kingslayer, the Rainmaker, the Devastator, the Meta Destroyer, Ragnaloardmon Ace. It's a red-black level 7 Digimon with 15k DP. It can DNA Digivolve for a red level 6 and a black level 6 for a cost of 0. It can blast DNA with a Durandamon and a Ragnaloardmon. It has Raid Reboots. On play when Digivolve, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack, and this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's effects until the end of their turn. Then if DNA Digivolving, Digivolve 1 all of your opponent's Digimon and delete one of their Digimon. It has Overflow 5. Daddy's back, and he came back with more than just milk. Where do I even start with this? Blast Evo solves Ragna's old issue of building 2 huge stacks, having Raid and Reboot to synergize from Durandra's Piercing and Prize Blocker to give your stack 4 keywords, and the on-play / Digivolve effect of straight trashing your opponent's security and literal Magna X level protection for no conditions. But if also DNA'd, you get a Mass Board, D-Digivolve, and the single target deletion, both mirroring the level 6's effects. Whew. Man, I could go on and on honestly, but this card is one of my favorite designs in the whole game. The flavor and its effects are great. It feels so good to see Ragna come back at the strongest and leave a strong impression for sets to come. Maximum sauce? Literally does not get better than this. And to bring this set of cards home, we're going to talk about the final card, the option, Mythical Arms of Salvation. It's a red-black option with a use cost of 3. It has, while you have a Legends Arm trait Digimon, you may ignore this card's color requirements. Main, you may place one Legends Arm trait Digimon card from your trash as one of your Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, then place this card in your battle area. All turns, when one of your Digimon would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects, delay. You may play one Legends Arm trait card from that Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. It has security. Activate this card's main effect. I'll keep it quick after the yap session I gave for Papa Rag. The effect is nice to recycle strong inheritables and trash, and if your Digimon gets removed, you get to play a card from the stack, no questions asked. Tuck a Ragna in with the effect, they can't stop you. Also glad the option can let you ignore color requirements. Would have been nice to have 2 years ago. Sauce. Super useful for the deck, and even if your opponent can get rid of your stack, this card makes it easier to bring it back up. Overall, every single card for a new Ragnalord is so useful for the deck, and they help push it from a very low tier pet deck to one that you can tussle with the best of them. The amount of protection provided to the deck is insane, essentially forcing your opponent to kill it in battle, or just wait out turns for protection to wear out, and even then it's still an uphill battle to get rid of Ragna. So now I want to get into an interesting topic this set of cards has given us. You love to hear it, power creep. So the interesting thing about the Ragna deck now, you're not really using any of the old cards. Well, you are using 2 specific level 3s. Remember in the beginning I talked about how I would say the Zuba and the Ludo are pretty good but you may not want to use them? Well, if you're using the Kakemon egg, you might actually want to consider using the 1.5 Zuba and Ludo, only because if you were to Evo onto them, like I said in the example, and then go into the level 4, and then on the start of your turn, you take it back, now you have something equivalent to the BT6 Huckmon, where you get to search top 5 cards for something, which is super strong. Not that the other level 3s are bad, but I think that's the better way to go personally with the BT3 Zuba and Ludo. But then we have another problem. But where does the starter deck Ragna stuff fit? It doesn't really. None of the cards really synergize with the new stuff. If anything, the new stuff clearly outclasses all the old stuff from starter deck, and even the old Ragna stuff too. The only cards you can really carry over is the 1.5 Ragnaloardmon, because now that we're going back to the single stack, old Ragnalord actually fits it way more than it did in the starter deck Ragnalord. And you can also use the starter deck Durandramon and Pyreludramon, mostly because you just want more of the level 6s with the same name, and while sure they are nowhere near as good as the new level 6s, the effects are still very decent for what they do, and to help facilitate your Blast Evo. Overall though, the support for Ragnalord in the set is extremely good, and like I said, while it doesn't get to really let you use the old Ragnalord stuff, regardless though, the deck with the new support alone stands super strong, and I think can be a real meta contender. So don't you be sleeping on Ragnaloardmon. I'd rate Ragnalord. Wait, all the cards are rated sauce, so how can it be better than a 5 out of 5? I think there's only one way we can rate this set. A full highest rating I can issue, 10 out of 10. And it easily earns the badass seal of approval.
Check out this deck list for EX6 Ragnaloard.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you guys really liked it. We put a lot of effort into this one, and Ragnalord is a Digimon I've always really liked design-wise, and I'm so glad the support makes him such a cool deck to actually run and not just for fun. So I'm really excited to play Ragnalord. And let me hear from you guys in the comments. How do you feel about Ragnalord? Are any of you guys excited to build the deck? Are you gonna be guys like me who've been playing the deck even before the EX6 reveals and just been now seeing the reveals and getting really excited to play it? And if you guys liked this video, please check out the previous video we did on the 3 Musketeers. And let me tell you, this might be one of the times you don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.